attacked. And so if he went down, in his mind, I believe he thought his message would go down. And so he needed to rise up to defend himself, and so he did. And so we've been looking at that. And he said, look, you guys know how we were among you. And we cited the many times in this chapter alone. Paul says, look in your own memory banks. You know how we were. We were not like this. We actually deeply care for you and love you so much. In fact, that's what the second part in chapter 2 is all about. Not just what Paul wasn't like, and of course Timothy and Silas in their midst, verses 1 through 6, but also 7 through 12, what Paul and his gang was like in their midst, and that is like a mother and a father. They loved them so much that he likened himself to a mother. I mean, that's hard for a man to do, by the way, but he did it. He said, I care for you so much. It's like I could describe it like a mother loving her newborn child, nursing it to health and strength and maturity and bringing it up and raising it. That's how much I love you guys. And also like a father, I admonish you and correct you and steer you in the right direction. And so I was that to you. I wasn't these things, and I was these things. In other words, I wasn't everything that the pagan teachers and everything I'm being accused of. I wasn't those things, but I was these things. That's everything healthy and everything that's for you, not to take from you, but everything that is for you. Because a mother and a father, they only live selflessly for their children. They never actually keep tally or tabs on what their children owe them. And if you are a mother or a father and you do that, that's ridiculous. Stop doing that. A mother and a father just serves and gives and cleans up messes and encourages and loves on and does it sacrificially in the middle of the night when they don't want to, cleaning up the messes that they make, especially when they get sick and they vomit all over the place in the middle of the night and you're trying to walk because you're so dizzy from being tired, but there's vomit everywhere, so you're stepping in it trying to clean it up. And while you're trying to clean up that, you step on a Lego and it hurts really bad and it gets worse and worse and worse. Or the disobedience you have to deal with. And then as he talks about himself being a father and coming in and just correcting them and leading and guiding them. And, you do this without thought and without question, and you do it without charge. You do it freely. And he specifically used that word, that we were not chargeable to you. We worked and labored amongst you. We did not take a single cent from you, but we served you selflessly and lovingly. And he says that very clearly, because you were dear to us. We not only imparted unto you the gospel of God, but we imparted to you our very souls. So we were a mother, we were a father to you. We're not like these other charlatans and hucksters who just want to get in your pocket, who just want to get into your life and take something away from you. We were there to give and to lay our lives down. He was a true shepherd. And of course, Silas and Timothy along with him. And with that thought, we ended in verse 12. And the whole reason, in other words, verse 12 comes and it stands out like this. The whole reason that we lived the way we lived amongst you, the whole reason we didn't do certain things, and we did do certain things, was for this, that you would walk worthy of God, that you would walk worthy of the vocation wherewith you have been called. You have been called into his kingdom and glory. You are to walk worthy as a child of God, of God's kingdom and glory. Now, that's a pretty tall order, by the way. I don't think any one of us in this room, I think just for sanity's sake, but also because none of us, hopefully, are proud enough to, would stand up and dare say, I walk worthy of God's kingdom and glory. It would be a very proud assertion to make about oneself. But nevertheless, we are to strive toward that end as we depend on the Holy Spirit and God's grace to do so. Because we are not to be concerned about our kingdom and our glory, but we are to be concerned about God's kingdom and his glory. So Paul said, I lived the way I lived, like a mother, like a father, and I didn't live like a huckster and a charlatan, so that you guys would benefit from it and learn to grow up, mature, and walk worthy of the calling of God in your lives. That was the whole point of verses 1 through 12. So as he says that, then he goes into verses 13 through 16. And I believe as he was saying these words, we could say saying, but he was following, you're looking at a leader.